Hello everybody, Jam here with another backlog video, harking back to the days when I was still VPR Muttley. This is finally the finale of the British GT Esports Series 2019, coming to you from Mugello, and starting in last place in class for this one, though judging by the names that I recognise towards the top of the list, I would say with some certainty about which lobby I'm in this time. With Jota Boquet currently leading the race. Yeah, this is top lobby. I don't know how many times I made top lobby in this series. This might have been the first time. I've no idea. I really, honestly, do not remember. I haven't watched any of these. I haven't watched any of this race back yet. This is the first time I'm watching the highlights since I edited them, and God knows when that was. So this should be quite interesting. Although, however, as I'm saying that, I am starting to vaguely remember these things, or some things about this race as we start the first lap, and I sort of get my brain in gear a little bit. Hopefully, we can keep this car in gear as well. Does that really make sense? Kind of doesn't. I was going for an analogy because of the word gear, but it didn't really work. Not the best line through that very far chicane at the end of the first lap, and despite picking up a couple of positions due to an incident on the start-finish line, I would lose another one. Oh, things are getting very messy here. I don't know what's going on, but I've picked up another place. I think someone might have been facing backwards as people backed off nice and sensibly, but now this isn't very sensible, making it 3 wide as I tackle? What am I talking about? As I attempt to go for what I think was maybe 8th place. I'm not sure. I don't even know who I was 3 wide with. It might have been the 2 in front, it might have been one of the guys in front and the guy behind me at the moment. But all very hectic, but we all get through quite cleanly. There's a little bit of contact between the 2 BMWs ahead, and hopefully we can capitalise up the inside, up the hill. Nope, not gonna work, and it looks like that Mercedes behind is really pushing, although he's got a Lambo going up his inside in the mirror there. And then that was the end of that. I wondered what we were staying on board for. Somebody taking a nice early pit stop there. As you can see, this is one of the rounds that's an endurance event, so one long race with 2 pit stops, as you can see from the pit requirement thing that's currently hanging around in my mirror. 2 BMWs perhaps fighting a little bit hard up the hill, holding each other up a little bit. Gave me a bit of a chance to close in, but apparently I couldn't do anything about that time. So we jump to a lap later, and pretty much the same point on the track, and there we have quite a sizable mistake. Backing off as I came back onto the track so that I didn't fly into the path of that yellow Lamborghini, which isn't quite alliterative at least. But we seem to be staying on board for now, so no, okay, nothing has happened. So end of lap 9, we are getting through this race rather quickly, as the yellow Lamborghini decides to go into the pits, and we stay out for a bit longer, presumably. 34 laps this race is, crikey, okay, yeah. So, lap 11 now, we're about to start lap 12. I'm not sure what this highlight is, maybe it's just sort of showing that some other people are in the pits, so we're up to P5, and we dive into the pits myself a lap later, onto lap 12. Interesting to see the BMW behind me following me straight in. I think that was one of the guys, that might have been the dark blue one that was facing the wrong way maybe earlier on. So surprised to see him follow me in. I thought maybe he would have tried to overtake me on strategy, but we come out, and it's very congested when we come out, and despite coming out of the pits, BMW ahead decides he wants to try and go for the inside, and, well, he's taken the position rather by force there, I think. But yeah, and yeah, that blue BMW, or blue fronted BMW, decided he wanted to follow through, which was perfectly fine initially, but a mistake, and it looks like we've got back past him. If we can keep him there though, is another story, as he's immediately coming back on the attack, looking up the inside for the right-hander. I haven't really taken the best line through there. Is he going to get me back on the left? It looks like he's got a nice bit of a cut-back line, but he's going to be on the outside as we go up the hill now, and he's backed out initially, but once again cutting back to the inside line. Very nicely done up the hill. Can I do the same back to him though on the second part? I can! Wow, what a bit of racing. Latest on the brakes. Oh, he's well in my mirrors. It didn't even have to outbrake him as we came into the chicane. Can we hold the position for the next few corners? He's got a run coming into the hairpin. Oh no, we're jumping away and he's now no longer in my mirror. So I haven't got a clue what the hell happened there, but that was a great bit of racing. Regardless, oh no, I've made the same mistake again in the gravel there. Just as I was about to say, we're closing in on the pack of cars that seem to be fighting ahead of me. Oh, that's why they seem to be fighting so hard. There's the first of the GT4 cars that we've seen in this video. Straightforward pass, really. That was all right. Nothing special there. And that I don't know if there's any more GT4 cars in that lot up there. Yes, there are. And the Mercedes has gone very wide. Maybe he was looking at trying to hang it around the outside and it didn't work. I don't really know. But we've got at least one, I'd say, as you can tell by the green marker in the name, signifying that it's in a different power class. So then I think it's the same power handicap class that the Lamborghini GT3's in. So yeah, so we've got the Lamborghini up ahead that was... Oh, did he overtake us or did he get us in the pits? Yeah, he overtook us and then pitted, didn't he? So he's jumped up a couple more positions. We've got the Mercedes in front of me that we've been... Well, he's been in my mirror or in front of me pretty much in every clip, apart from the odd one. What I'm saying is he's been... we've seen him about quite a bit. And then... Oh, crikey, there's two BMWs in there. Okay, yeah. So we know who we're fighting. Put it that way. And tell you what, this is a very long clip. I'm just waiting for something potentially more significant to happen. Something a bit like that, maybe. Just touching the gravel on the outside there and allowing me to get past as we approach the second chicane. Nicely done. I say it's very easy to do. Oh, yeah, very, very easy to do. That BMW ahead, just tagging the gravel as well. As I said, very easy to do. I've done it twice in a different place in this race already, so just one of those things. Not the best place to be catching a GT4 car. All kinds of wide on the curb trying to get fast there. We'll do it on their acceleration towards the hairpin. And tell you what, that Merc certainly looking very big in the mirrors. It's not a small car, but it is looking very big in those mirrors. And it looks like we're staying on board for a bit longer, judging by the length of this clip. Not sure exactly what's going on here. Mercedes going for the inside into the final corner. No, it's backed out of it. But we're still staying on board. Don't know exactly what's going on here. Is he going to dive into the pits? He is. That's what I was expecting the BMW to do last time I pitted. Or sort of. Like, just try and go for the strategy overtake rather than the on-track one. Because obviously you lose slightly less time if you can do it that way. That's the theory anyway. So, another GT4 car getting in the mix. Oh, would you look at that? It's a Rogue DDM Mead once again. That's I'd never have noticed that if I hadn't joined DDM a couple of weeks ago. Hello again, Mead. That's twice in 2 videos that you've made a cameo. Yes. But yeah, in other words, he was just another GT4 car that I was getting past. Crikey, my commentary is rusty. So there we have another pit stop, and we come out in 11th place. Make that 12th place, so back to last in class. But remember, I started here anyway, so it's not like I would have lost anything. It's nice to just be here. I'm obviously going to be getting more points than first in the class in the lobby below me anyway. So you know, it's just got to make sure I finish, and I'll pick up some very solid points. And if by any chance I can make any overtakes on cars in my own class as opposed to that GT4 car, then they're just effectively free bonus points that I'm not potentially, well, not potentially. Let's look for the right words that I was trying to say. I'm not overly fussed about, put it that way. So another clip flying down the start-finish straight, lap 20 now, watching a car come out the pits ahead of us. That's that yellow Lamborghini that we've seen a few times, and coming out right in between myself and the Mercedes up ahead. So not quite close enough to really fall into my clutches, and not quite close enough to really put a challenge on the Mercedes, not initially at least. So we cut to later that lap. Was that a little bit of gravel being kicked up by the Merc? I think it was. It gives that Lamborghini all the invitation he needs to slide one up the inside into the chicane. Very nice move there. Pretty similar to how I got past the Mercedes not that long ago. Just tagged the wheel on the dirt and you just slide past. Okay, up to 11th now then, so we have moved off the bottom of the class, and that's going to be up to 10th, as presumably 2 cars were in the pits. One of those was a little bit closer than the other. And that is one of the BMWs we've been seeing, and so we're all fighting in the same pack. We have been pretty much for the last 22 laps. There's what, 5 or 6 cars that we recognise. There's 3 other BMWs plus the 2 cars ahead of me. So there's sort of 6 of us that are very much making up the bottom half of our class in this lobby. So yeah, that's quite a big battle pack, really, isn't it? 6 cars that we've been seeing intermittently throughout the race. Although I haven't seen the dark blue one for a while, so who knows. Oh! That's a mistake by the Merc, again getting himself into the gravel. Looked like it was more serious on this occasion though, as he was just got past the GT4 car, perhaps hindered his own line through that very quick chicane. But yeah, that's a free position for me, but I mean I might be back to 10th before I know it, with a car right up me keister, defending into, taking the inside line into turn 1, so hoping to defend. I don't know whether he's just made a slipstream work or had a really good run, or maybe he's running a lower aero setup, but he definitely seemed to have the best of me on the straights there, but I have managed to hold him back on this occasion, and we live to fight another day in 9th place. It's not bad really, is it, considering I was saying I was anything but last is a bonus. So, on to another clip, on to lap 26, and I thought that car ahead, what have I missed? Okay, don't blame me, but blame previous me, because I've missed an overtake somewhere. I don't know how I slipped from 9th to 10th. Slipped, dropped, whatever. Holding the left-hand side of the track on this occasion though, because I knew there was no defending against the speed of that Mercedes. Look at it! So far ahead already. And, I mean, we've seen the amount of mistakes he's made today. He's clearly got some very, very good outright pace. Just needs to try and keep it on the track a bit more, and if he did, he'd probably be a lot further up the road. So yeah, next clip please. Come on, there we go. It's frustrating editing. Maybe I should have re-edited it before I started commentating. Oh, that Merc's had another incident with another GT4 car, and it's another Mercedes. That's twice now he's had incidents with... Well, he didn't have an incident with the last GT4 Merc, but he did end up in the gravel after overtaking one, didn't he? So, back up to P10. Cut, please. Come on. This video could have been a couple of minutes shorter if I'd cut it better. Right, lap 31. Only a couple to go. I'm assuming, like the rest... Oh, the BMWs ahead have had an incident. Oh, I've absolutely thrown that in. That was a bit naughty, wasn't it? I mean, after 30 laps, when I'm fighting against guys, so I've already said a couple of times, you know, I'm not really expecting to beat any of them. Just... anything I can do is a bonus. So when that kind of thing happens ahead, maybe I didn't do the most legitimate thing there, but it's the kind of opportunity I just had to go for, because I'm now P8! P8! Right, lap 31, going on to lap 32, defending from another BMW down the straight again. Is it the same one as last time? I don't think so. He has got a massive straight line speed advantage on me there. Just driving past and getting back in front. Oh, pulling in front, pulling across. To close the defensive line off into turn 1, and we've got I didn't know what the overlaps were happening there, but we've got a Mercedes and a BMW behind. I think they were side by side. I think we've had 2 overtakes through turn 1 actually, as the Mercedes got past the BMW, and another lap later onto the final lap now, and we are defending with all our might up against the white line which separates the pit lane and the track. And the number 91 car is that? He's decided to ignore the fact that that's the track limit and just take the pit exit line, which you are absolutely not allowed to do, and he did indeed get a penalty for it. So I've dropped to 10th, but, you know, I didn't decide to defend from him on the previous occasion because I knew he was just going to bugger off, but considering this is now on to the final lap, of course I'm going to defend that. He can't just go and do that. If he wants, he should have battled me around the outside. But as I mentioned when I got past the 2 BMWs that had had a little bit of an incident, we don't always do the wisest thing in the heat of a moment when, for example, chucking it at another car to try and slide past. But I'll tell you what, this race is far from over. I haven't done all the defending that I need to do today just yet, as we've got half a lap to go, and yet again we've got another BMW right in my mirrors. Come on, can we hold him there? I've genuinely got no idea. Come on! We've just got to get around this hairpin. He's not close enough to have a dive here. So just keep it clean around the hairpin. Get a good exit. He's gone a little bit wider, but it should cut back to get him a good run. So I just need to be nice and clean around the very fast, tricky chicane now. I haven't made any mistakes through... Oh no, I have. I was literally on lap 1. I didn't do very well. But it looks like he's dropped quite a long way back, and a GT4 Traffic is getting right involved with this GT3 battle as we go into the final corner, as I'm round the outside on the final lap. I think that GT4 car really got in the way of the two cars fighting ahead of me. But whoa, that got a little bit tense. And that's 10th place, so 2 bonus positions in light of what I was saying, and there are the full results for you. So yeah, who have we seen? Who did we know of? So it was the yellow Lamborghini up in 7th, and basically everyone below him we saw and was fighting with quite drastically throughout that race. So yeah, I'm out of breath. To be fair, 16 and a half minutes coming up for this video. Normally they're a little bit shorter than this, so maybe I can just take a quick breather. Obviously not the best thing to do when you're talking on a video. But, right, yeah, so that's finally the end of the finale, as I like to keep saying. It's got a nice ring to it. We've finally had the finale. So let's go and have a look at the final standings for this series. Before they pop up on screen, I just quickly want to send thanks to Norbert and Darkser, both helping me find the results and show them full screen, which isn't as easy as it sounds. So here are the drivers' standings then. After all that, I ended up 9th. And I have got no idea how, but I'll take it. Other VPR cars on the screen then. We've got Yami in 13th, Zach in Assassin in 17th, and Shep and Anon in 24th and 25th. We had a couple of other drivers as well, but they'd missed so many rounds they weren't even in the top 30. I think that was the case of a lot of teams, because as you can see, not only did I crack the top 10 of the drivers, we've got 2 teams in the top 10 of the team standings, and a best of 2nd. Whew. So the last 2 series I've brought you, Tascar and British GT, admittedly I brought them to you in the wrong order, but that's a 2nd and a 1st. I mean, I know I've since left Pertec. Well, Pertec left and then I left C-Tech, which was VPR, but that was not a bad way to leave the team. And that's not a bad way, I don't think, to end the video. And the series, mini-series, there's some more backlog coming though, so stick around. See you next time.